Okay, so in our next video lecture, so we will be discussing about uh, hardware. Okay, so this is the next or the second topic under this module. Okay, so when we say computer hardware, this simply means, or this is usually called as hardware when a computing context is concerned. Okay, so this is the collection of physical elements that constitutes a computer system. Okay, everything that is tangible. Okay, uh, part of the computer system is what we call the computer hardware or the hardware or simply hardware. So computer hardware are physical parts or components of the computer. So these are composed of the monitor, mouse, keyboard, computer data, storage, hard disk drive, graphic cards, sound cards, memory, motherboard, and so on. Okay, everything that can be touched. Okay, that has a physical uh, feature. Okay, is considered to be computer hardware. Okay, the part or the items or the components of or in the components of a computer system. So all of these are physical objects. Okay, as mentioned, are tangible. So in contrast, software, on the other hand, which will be discussed also in the next slides later. So these are instructions that can be stored and run by the hardware. So the most important hardware component is the motherboard. So this holds all the important components of a computer. So this includes the central processing unit, memory, and the various connectors for the input-output device. Okay, and for processing. So some of the input devices like keyboard, mouse, microphone, modem, joystick, USB device, and many other are connected for better functioning and also to assist uh, in the input or in the uh, what do you call this, collection of the data using these different formats. So similarly, the output devices like a computer monitor, modem, the projectors, printers, and others are connected to the available connectors of the motherboard. So of course, these are essential parts of the computer system, which aids, okay, in the data processing. So it is the main motherboard that includes the graphic processors. So this purpose is for better display screen, okay, in the monitor. Okay, so of course it has to be seen, okay, especially in the processing of the data. So there is CPU socket, fan memory, connectors, and others. Okay, like this one. Okay, that are most essential components to run a computer system. Okay, so again, these are part of the motherboard, okay, in the CPU. So it also integrates the audio uh, chip for sound and gigabyte Ethernet chip for network connection on a computer. Okay, so there are several hardware components also that is attached in the CPU. So these are called the brain normally. Okay, so as we all know, this is our CPU is considered to be the brain of the computer. So the CPU includes all the processors that interprets and execute the program instructions. So this is where normally these are stored. Okay, so it includes the control unit that instructs, maintains, and also control the flow of the information, arithmetic logic, unit for simple logic operations, and a controller. So inside the CPU also, memory is very important, okay, component. So this is where the information or data are stored in our computer. So it includes the main memory slot called RAM or random access memory and the read-only memory. Okay. So it has also internal hard disk that is connected to computer to store abundant data and applications, and optical disk drives. So these are known as CD or DVD drive that can read and write, okay, this um, disks, okay, for editing, for saving files and documents. So there are also points for external storage. Okay, so like the USB, flash drive, external hard disk, okay, to be connected for memory storage aside from the CPU. Okay, so those are for the hardware. So these are just basic. Okay, so you already have the idea of these things already.